So, you know, it's the same thing for me. Is like in any other artist, you look at people and you compare yourself. So just be yourself. Don't follow the trend because the trend is going to die. Do your thing. Be original. Stay authentic to you. Work hard at that. Believe in it and push it. Like, don't second guess yourself. Be who you are. As soon as you just be who you are and you work hard and you create something authentic to you, someone somewhere is going to buy into it. People are going to rock with it. There's a lane for everything.
Purpose in the youth. Purpose in the youth. Purpose in the youth podcast. Welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Today in the building, fellow bearded brother, Futuristic. What's up, brother?
It's coming in nicely.
It's nice and clean.
You know?
Let's take it back to the good old touring days.
Yeah.
Was I not the greatest opening DJ of all time?
You did a little something.
A little something.
For sure.
I remember on the As a Seen on the Internet tour, I used to call myself the hospitality manager because I literally had no role to help you guys at all. But I was there just to make sure all the vibes were good. Everybody was having a good time.
Always. Yeah. Because I remember I'm like, what does he do? What is his job?
Yeah.
And they're like, he's the homie.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days in, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's dope that he's out
I had
here.
absolutely no role whatsoever, but we were just there kind of helping you guys out. And I loved knowing you were coming in today because I think about how much I just remember literally, as I was telling you before, recording an intro for the 8th episode of the podcast in Maine. And that was so young in my career. I had just met you guys. And now to see, especially where I've gone with my own career, to see you from afar, so much has changed in my life and so much has changed in you that I'm more than excited to have you here today because you are absolutely crushing it right now.
Thank you.
You're more than just an artist though. You're a businessman, which I think I have to tip my hat to because I don't see a lot of people doing that. But I mean, looking back, like, what do you think has gotten you to this point in your career today?
There's a million things, but I think really just working hard, staying focused, and not being complacent. I think those are the things that my pops instilled in me when I was a kid, and just my whole life has been like that.
And he was like a pretty good role model for you too, because he was a big DJ, big music guy as well.
Yeah, he played drums, was his, first and foremost, played drums, turned into DJing, bass guitar, a little bit of singing. Not great singing, but he tries to sing a little bit. But I actually took him on my last tour too.
And what was his role? He was playing the drums?
DJ'd.
Wow.
He DJ'd for the first 10 shows of my last tour.
How was that, taking your father on tour?
It was cool because it's something we talked about from the time that I was a kid. From the time I was 6 years old, it was like, our whole family's gonna go on tour. It's gonna be wild.
Wow. Did you know that early on, like this was the thing you wanted to do?
Yeah.
At six.
You
knew that. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna find a way to make a career out of this.
For sure. I thought I was gonna be like a child star because it was like when Romeo and Bow Wow and all them were popping.
Yeah.
And I was already doing shows and winning all these talent shows and all this stuff when I was that young. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's on.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make this happen.
I'm in there.
You grew up in Bloomington, Illinois.
Yes.
What is childhood like there for you?
It was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, my childhood was super dope. I had like a weird situation because I was kind of like a only child, but then I'm one of 9. So it's like,
That's a squad.
Everybody lives in different places. So like, it was always cool. Like one of my brothers would come every other weekend. My other brothers would come for the summer. Like, my sister lived across town. She'd come over. It was just like, it was dope.
Yeah.
Super dope. I always had a lot of friends. I played every sport growing up. It was just, good times. I have, no complaints really about my early childhood.
And your mother was in a recent cameo of your music video.
Yeah.
Feel Me. She's out there tossing money.
Yeah.
What were some of the early lessons that she might have taught you as a kid?
Man, she did not want me to do this.
No, not at all.
She did not want me to
She's like,
rap.
I don't want him being honest.
She threw my rap book away.
Really?
Yeah, she threw it away because my older brothers rapped, and she kind of thought they were a bad influence on me. But yeah, she threw my rap book away. Didn't want me to do it. But now it's all like I remember the moment where I felt like, okay, she rocks with it. Was 2011 when I opened up for Machine Gun Kelly. It was like his first time in Arizona. It was like a 300 cap venue, and I sold like 150 tickets.
Wow.
So it was like
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing numbers.
And she came to that show and was just like in the front row, just cheesing super hard. And she didn't realize, like, people started singing the words and all this stuff. I crowd surfed for the first time, and she was just like, wow, I get it.
Wow. You weren't dunking the ball yet.
No, I wasn't dunking the ball. Nah, not yet.
2011. So how old were you at that point? Because you graduated
I graduated 09.
09.
So yeah, I was 19.
So when did you start doing shows? At what age do you think?
I did shows when I was real young,
Yeah.
like when I was 6 to 10.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really do any shows again until my senior year of high school. And I used to like promote for this little club called Club Campus, and I would just perform it, like basically promote this thing like a teen night, and then I would perform at it.
And you just, every time we're just killing it.
Yeah,
Anytime you got the opportunity, you're just like, I'm a beast mode on this.
Yeah. And then I found out about like opening for artists and, you know, all the ticket sales schemes and Sean Healy and things like that. And went through that and did a bunch of shows like that starting in like 2010.
Yeah, so you got to get I mean, the early grind is that's where it makes or break you, right? Like if you're really in it for the right reasons, you're going to find a way to sell those tickets or get people to come out and support
I used to kill ticket sales. I only had to do like maybe 4 shows like that, and then every promoter was just like, you're on the show, period. Like, you don't have to sell no tickets.
Because of the music or because of
both?
They just saw the passion?
Because the performance and because how many people I was bringing. Because I was going above and beyond and I didn't have a car or nothing. Like I would go to every Facebook event page that had to do with the show. I'd message everybody, sell them discounted tickets. I'd go to anybody who liked the artist page I was opening up for and message them if they lived in Arizona. I would, go to the colleges, the high schools, and like I'd sell 300 tickets to a show. And as a local, that's like,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't, didn't have a buzz, like a huge buzz. It was just, I was selling to people that didn't even know who I was. It was just because I was selling to them because I saw that it said that they were going to go to the show on Facebook.
Yeah.
So.
Where do you think that hunger was like coming from though? Like what was pushing you to just keep hustling even when nobody's really supporting or paying attention? Because those early years, man, it's the make or break. And if you can get through those early years, I feel like you're good because you start to get the wins and it keeps adding up.
I just knew it was what I wanted to do. And not to it was money too. Like I was selling those tickets and making money. Like I didn't have a job for real. I'd be in and out of jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, I was making good money selling those tickets and doing all that stuff. So
at one point I want to go back a little bit. You did move from Illinois to Arizona, Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah.
How was switching high schools it was Danville to McClintock, I think it was the name.
Yeah.
Was that a tough transition as like somebody who's trying to figure out what they want to do with their life?
Yes and no, because like when I lived in Bloomington, so I lived in Bloomington until 7th grade. Okay. And then I moved to Danville, which I didn't like.
No.
So like
not your vibe?
I spent 2 years in Danville and I was like, I don't care where I go, just get me up out of here. And so when my mom was like, we're moving to Arizona, I was like, all right, cool, that's weird, but all right, let's do it. And then we moved to Arizona and it was cool. It's actually like refreshing. Like it's very clean. It was very like just different. Right when I moved there, I just felt good about being there.
Was it because of the weather, the change?
No, it actually was too hot. Because we moved there in August and it was like 120-something degrees. So I was a little like, what the heck? But it just...
I'm going to burn up.
Yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah. So you ended up going to Mesa Community College for some bit though, for a little bit of time. Is that
like
correct?
A year.
You studied that you were doing music. Now... did you go there with the intention because I need to kill more time to figure out this music game? Was your mom still on you about having that plan B?
Yeah, it was 2 things. My mom was on me, and I already had a bunch of college credits that I took in high school. So it was like, my mom was like, you're going to waste all these credits that you took in high school. Why would you do that? You know, like you paid for these college credits when you were in high school. Yeah. I was taking college classes, so I was like, okay, I'll go to college. And yeah, it was plan B, something to fall back on, but I was just going to get a business degree. But like right when I got into it, like I almost dropped out the first day. I was
you just knew this is not meant for me.
This is so stupid. And then, I did like a year of it, and that was like the craziest. I had a job. I was, doing shows, shooting music videos, recording, and going to school full time. It was like wake up, go to school, and then like get off school, go to work, get off work at like 11 or 12 at night. I was working at Ross at the time. Go to the studio from like 12 till 3 in the morning. Wake up, do it all over again.
Keep grinding.
Yeah, so it was a lot.
At what point was there ever like a moment of like, I'm on to this? Like this is going to be my career for the rest of my life?
I always just knew it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't like I mean, there was a moment where when I quit my job, there was a moment I was taking out the trash.
I love that story.
Yeah,
You're taking out the trash. Somebody's like, oh, aren't you futuristic?
Yeah.
And at that moment, you said, I'm out. I'm just quitting.
Basically, I can't remember if it was that day or a couple of days later, but I just remember my boss said something to me, and I was like, yo, fuck all of this.
Where
I'm
was this? Where were you working?
Capriati's.
What's that?
Sandwich shop.
Sandwich shop.
Yeah, I was the worst employee ever at any job I had because I knew I just didn't belong there. I just felt like I didn't belong. So like, sandwiches would come up. If I didn't like the sandwich, I'm like, I'm not making that. They'd be like, can you clean this out? Can you wash the dishes? Nah, fam, that ain't me. Oh, somebody did this. Somebody threw up one time in Ross. They're like, Zach, clean that. I'm like, nah, fam, I'm not a janitor. Not happening.
Wow. So
I was the worst employee.
Because why? You just knew that this is just a short term.
Yeah.
You know
it was
exactly
like,
where you're headed.
Yeah, it's like, please fire me. Like, I don't want to be here.
And nobody would fire you.
No.
So you eventually just said, all right, I got to dip out of this.
I got to go, yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean, when you have that, I think what separates people from having a dream to actually executing it is literally just the ability to just go all in, envision it, and literally punt everything you have to punt to make that happen.
For sure. Not being scared to fail.
Yeah, I think. But you know what? And the other thing too is like, is there ever really a failure? Like, do you really fail? Because I'm sure there's times in your life today where something doesn't work. It's a setback. You learn from it. You move forward.
Yeah. Right. And as long as you love what you're doing, and I mean, you're gonna regret the things that you don't do more than the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not trying to live a life where it's like, damn, like I got this business degree and I got a job. I was a really good rapper back in the day. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm going all for it. Even with business ventures and things like that. Like, if I have an idea and I don't try to make it come to life, it's always gonna bug me and haunt me because I never
tried it.
Yeah.
You never just put it out there to the world and see how they react to it.
Exactly.
So you ended up going to high school with I don't know his actual name, but Big Dawes TV.
I didn't go to high school with him.
You didn't go to high school?
No, I went to high school with Jake. I went to high school with Jake.
Okay.
And then I met Big Dawes. I just saw, like, he goes viral all the time.
Yeah.
So I saw this skit of him eating junk food in the gym, and I looked at the gym. I'm like, that looks like the gym that I go to. And then so I looked him up. It's like, oh, he's from Arizona. I reached out, and he's like, oh, bro, I'm a big fan. We should do something. And we did like an awkwardly staring at strangers and I think one other prank. And then he did the nerd raps by himself. And I was like, bro, you have to let me do a nerd rap.
Oh, so he was actually doing the nerd raps for just his own content.
He did a nerd rap as him. He freestyles. And I was like, this is getting all these views and he's not even that good. So I was like, let me hop in there with you. And we did a freestyle. And then I was like, let me just kill this verse that I just wrote the other day. And then that's how the greatest happened.
Damn, bro. So literally it went from just a night, you saw him doing it, and you thought, let me add my own little style to it. And he was already a fan of your music.
Yeah. Now,
when you guys actually published that video, how quickly did it start to get some traction?
Bro, I was on tour.
With who at the time?
It was my first headline.
First headlining?
Yeah, it was my first headline. And I knew it was going to go viral because one of the girls that was there when I was rapping it took a phone video and posted it on her Facebook, and it went viral. And I was pissed.
Because you don't want people... Yeah, because now people aren't going to watch
the song wasn't out.
Yeah.
The video wasn't out. And I was like, yo, take this down right now. And she was like, no, I'm not taking it down. It has 100,000 views. I'm not doing that. Or, whatever it had at the time. And I was just like, oh, so I had to hit up Facebook. It took 2 days to get it taken down. Anyway, so when we're on tour... We were going to sound check. We posted the video in the hotel. It was the first time I uploaded a video to Facebook. Somebody had told me a couple days before, oh, yeah, videos do better if you don't post the YouTube link, if you actually upload them. Uploaded it.
The shareability is so much easier. Just click share. People start pushing it.
Uploaded it on Facebook. Literally on the way to the sound check, Ryan was like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, this video got 20,000 likes already. And I was like, what? You're lying. And then it's like, yeah, it just popped off like all day. I'm like, whoa, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 followers up. Like page went up by like 100,000 likes in the day.
So you started seeing the traction going right to like your actual music then?
Yeah.
Because people
that video sparked all my other, like every video was getting hundreds of thousands of views. Everything that I had out had hundreds of thousands of views. Like, and some of the stuff I didn't even have like uploaded on TuneCore, like it wasn't on iTunes or nothing. Like I had to go back and scramble. Like after that show, it was like scramble, like upload no way on the iTunes because it wasn't on there.
Wow.
And it was getting 200, 300,000 views a day.
Wow.
And then it was
Just like
crazy.
that. I mean,
Crazy.
all it takes is that virality that you can then turn into, all right, well, got these people to click into it. Now, like, come check out my actual music. This is what I'm about. I can rap my ass off. I'm going to keep spitting music. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, I knew that was the key because so what we did when we posted the videos was he posted his video, I posted mine. This is the exact same time. We both cross promoted them, and you know he sent people to mine, I sent people to his, and both videos off bat were just
going off.
Yeah. So
man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's unreal. 2015, it really seemed like a year that a lot of things started to click in the right direction.
Yeah.
You had The Rise debuts at #2 on iTunes. You had a huge single with A Great Big World called Hold Each Other.
Yeah.
You're on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. You perform in front of the Vice President, Joe Biden. You're performing in front of the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook. What's going through your head when all this starts to unfold?
I was like, wow, this is it. We on. Like, It came at such a crazy time because I moved to LA. I had $20,000 when I moved to LA. Saved up $20,000.
Okay.
Moved out here, and by the time The Greatest came out, I was probably down to like $6,000 or $7,000 in my bank account.
So you were just paying your
like,
bills, weren't making any
money.
money.
Oh my gosh! Like, how are we gonna do this? Like, what's gonna happen? The Greatest dropped, and when The Rise came out, like that album made mad money first week, like almost $70,000 first week, and that was like coming from. I'm like, oh my goodness! And then after that, it was like the thing with The Great Big World happened. The tour. I think I did like 3 or 4 tours that year.
Wow.
All sorts of stuff. I missed a couple shows on the tour because I had to fly out and do the stuff with The Great Big World. But yeah, it was just nuts. And then we dropped Coast to Coast that year too. Huge. So it was just like that year was like. And you know, sitting down with labels and being like, "Nah, fam, I'm cool."
I'm
like,
good.
Yeah,
taking every meeting though, right? If they're gonna come knocking, it's like you gotta go listen to what they have to say.
For sure. So it was just like I just finally felt like, wow, I could live off music for real. So it just has always been my goal to be able to do what I love, and live off of it and live off music and tour and just.
How nervous were you coming to LA with just $20,000 in the bank? Like $20,000 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but still. Just taking that leap of moving to a very competitive environment. You probably knew a good amount of people, but how was that a big leap for you at the time, or do you just felt 100% confident, I need to make this move to make it happen?
It was still scary, but I knew I needed to do it, and I needed to get out of Arizona too. It was like I just felt like I had plateaued there and couldn't do anything else, so it was like I need to go to LA.
Yeah. And you spent, what, 2 years out here?
Yeah, 2.5.
How do you think that helped the career continue to grow?
Oh, bro, everything. I mean, LA is everything when it comes to, you know, this industry. And even like just take The Greatest, for example.
Yeah.
The first producers I met with in LA pretty much produced the whole album, The Rise. And so I met with a manager who manages all these producers, and pretty much all the producers I use are all managed by the same guy. And even Boy Lord, who's making all my current stuff, is managed by him. So if I wouldn't have moved to LA, I would have never met the guy who produced The Greatest, OD, The Rise, all my new stuff, like pretty much all my biggest songs came from that connect.
So you see all these positive things that are happening from living in LA. Why choose to leave LA?
Just I think for my own sanity. Like LA's crazy because it's like it's like for me it was a lonely place a little bit, and I just felt like used by everybody. Like I did a lot of stuff for a lot of people out here, and I just always felt like, not that you do a favor hoping to get one in return, but a little bit. You know, you would think like, yo, I've done hella stuff for you. So, you know, I just felt like I was being used, abused, walked on, and it was just like, it's always like too cool. Like you gotta compete. Nobody introduces themselves like, hi, I'm Zach. It's like, yo, I'm this person's, I have this many followers, or I'm related to this person, or this how many views I have. Like, it just felt really, really fake, to be honest. And to be surrounded by it all the time was just a little bit too much for me. And my goal was always to move back to Arizona. So it happened a little quicker than I expected. But I went out there. My lease was up on my apartment, and I was like, I want to just look at some houses in Arizona. And I found one, and I was like, wow, this is the one. I got to buy this. And I left for tour like a week after, so I didn't even really get to move in.
That was the I went
on Warped.
Oh, that was Warped Tour. Oh, that was on Warped Tour. Okay.
Yeah. So I was still living here when I did As Seen on the Internet.
Oh, you were still a resident here. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely get what you're saying though about LA being like this fake place. I also think too is with time you kind of can read the people and then you slowly figure out, okay, that's what that person's about.
Yeah.
Not who I want to be around. This is the person I want to be around. But I don't know. It's just tough. Yeah, I think too many times people they try to take too much from somebody and they not exactly try to give back. Like you're not doing things expecting, but you hope that at some point somebody's gonna give you a little toss of a lob and have you hook it up.
Yeah, and then just family, friends, and stuff back in Arizona, and then even businesses like, I mean, just to open a business here compared to open a business in Arizona is a way different thing. You know, like it's cheaper, it's easier. I have a bigger name in Arizona. It's like I can do more in Arizona. I can make more money. I can be around my people and really run my shit the way I want to run it. Like the setup I have now, two big ass cribs next to each other. I wouldn't be able to do that here.
No.
You know, I was living in an apartment, recording in my closet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's just.
Let's run with that. The business. I wasn't gonna ask till later, but now we're talking about it. You have a Sheeesh World complex. You have your own crib. You have the next door. You have another crib. You broke down the wall. You built out one whole studio in this house. You have people coming in, creating, writing, and making music. You have your clothing line out of there. You've written a book called The Declaration of Independence for young artists on how to make it as an artist. You want to open up a barbershop one day. I remember I asked you on like an Instagram one time and you said, I want to open up a barbershop, this whole complex. Like, what, aside from financial gain, what is getting you to want to do more and keep spreading out and trying all these ventures?
I think two things. I mean, like I said, when I have an idea in my head, I just like to see it come to life. And then there's just like so much dope things. Like I just like going somewhere and seeing some dope shit. Like, so like when we're on tour and we're like, oh man, this store is dope, or this place is dope, this area is cool. Like I want to be able to create that environment for other people. Like when they go to my clothing store in the mall with my partner Ryan, it's like, yo, this clothing store is crazy. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, especially in Arizona, you don't expect it. So like, that's nuts. And then you're talking about like even Sheeesh World, like the colors on these clothes are crazy.
Loud.
You know, it's loud. And then, all my other ideas is just, and then like the book is obviously to help people. Like, it's just, if I would have had that book, when I had to learn so much on the go, just like anybody else. But when you have a guide and a manual that like, this is shit, don't do this. This is stuff you should do. These are things to stay away from. These are things to, really capitalize on. It's just, it really helps. And I get so many DMs from people that are like, bro, this book changed my whole way I'm approaching this music business. It's wild. Like, so it's cool, man.
What do you think's been the hardest but greatest entrepreneur lesson you've learned so far? Because you have your hands on a lot of different things.
I think just being able to let go a little bit. It's like time management and just your time, because anytime you're not putting your time into one of the businesses, it falls a little bit, and so it's tough to run 10 businesses by yourself. So just like trying to be able to put people in the right places and you mix a little bit of friendship with business and family with business, and just balancing all the relationships that come with it and balancing the business itself is tough when you're juggling all those different ones.
Have you found that your time management skills have gotten better with all these ventures?
Yeah, definitely.
Because we talked about before we started this podcast, you said like, I can't believe LA, like, people aren't getting up till 1 p.m. You're not going to get responsive text right now till 1, 2 p.m. But you're somebody that gets up, I see early on social media. You're up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, working out or whatever. What's fueling you to get out of bed every morning?
Too much to do. There's too much that needs to be done. And I mean, I can't sleep. I just have too much. My mind is just, it's always running. So like for me to, like, I can't sleep in. It just doesn't work.
You're not about it.
Yeah, my body.
That's why you and Jacob Owens are freaking, you guys are two of the same blood.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that relationship. You and Jacob Owens. He was episode 100 of the podcast. Fellow bearded brother.
Shout out J.O.
Shout out J.O.B.O. He's probably, honestly, straight up
legend,
the hardest working person I've had on this podcast. 118 plus episodes. He's the hardest working person. How did that relationship come together? What have you learned from him?
I just texted him yesterday and was like, bro, I'm proud of you. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much stuff he's done, and he's gonna continue to do stuff. Like that dude is just, he's out of control. Out of control.
He's a beast.
He's out of control, and it's amazing to see it, especially both of us being from Arizona, because out here there's a lot of people that are like that, that work hard, that, get to in Arizona, there's not as many. You know, like you can't link with people that are on that level mentally and that are doing the things that, you know, just I don't want to say on that level mentally, but that have made it out and achieved the things that me and him have achieved. So just coming from Arizona, it's dope. We met in high school, absolutely hated each other.
I think he said the same about you when he was on the podcast.
Yeah, bro, hated each other. All came from basketball, and you know, I was talking shit on the court. He couldn't guard me, and
still can't guard you today, though, right?
Nah, he be locking me up sometimes now. You know, he's definitely a hooper a little bit. But yeah, and then I was cool with his younger brother, and then you know, just from basketball, the relationship kind of developed from kicking it at his crib. I saw he was shooting videos. I was like, bro, let's shoot a music video. Yeah. And we shot a super terrible video called Mr. I Had to Do It. And then we shot one that was a little better called Who Dat. And then that was my first video to get on blogs. And then we just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. We've probably shot, it's got to be over 200 videos at least.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's got to be over 200 videos.
How important has it been building with people for like the right reasons, like genuine relationships? Like you have Jacob you worked with for a long time, you got Marcus out here who I think you've been working for quite a bit. Like how important has it been in getting you to where you are today, is making sure you're surrounded by the right people?
It's a little like, the right people. It's everything really. Like I like to be comfortable in my relationships and know that like they have my back, and like you said, they're in it for the right reasons. And so, you know, coming up with Jake, it was like cool. We both pushed each other. We both worked really hard, and we both had this mutual respect for each other. And then, you know, my partnership with Ryan with Sheeesh World and Guest List, which is the clothing store I own in Arizona. Those things are, you know, like he's one of my best friends. Marcus, my engineer, merch guy, you know, and then my guy Boy Lord, who I've been working with now for about a year. It's just being around people that push you to be better, being around people that are dope and just good-hearted people. You know, so.
Yeah, it's important. That's why I love I live here with Dylan. You know what I mean? Like he's been an important person in getting me to where I'm today. But sometimes even just having like one person to lean on as like they know everything about you, where you can just open up and talk through ideas or business or relationships or anything. But just having like that one person, I swear, can be like a make or break for a lot of people.
And and another person I left out is Action, who I do the one take contest with, and he produced my first couple albums. But yet, like, if I wouldn't have had Action who believed in me, I wouldn't have been able to record the quality of music that I was recording because he did it for free. I wouldn't have been able to get the beats I was getting because he gave them to me for free. You know, with Jake, same thing with videos. I wouldn't have had these dope videos unless Jake was shooting them for free because I didn't have the money to pay for it. So it was like, if I wouldn't have made those relationships with those good people, I wouldn't be where I am today because I needed that. Like Jake needed me, I needed him. Action needed me, I needed him. And, you know, now we all get money together and we do our own things. So it's like, I think that's the most beautiful shit ever, you know, like start from nothing, come up, and it's like still rock with each other and then do your own thing.
But you guys are busy, you know, you guys are so busy now doing your own things. It's like, you can't wait to link up and work on a project, but it's like you see them hustle, and like Jake's always shooting some stuff. You're out here making music.
We're shooting a video tomorrow.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're shooting a video tomorrow.
Man, I love seeing when relationships like that can kind of full circle, and you can build up that genuine following or like fan base with people, and it's just it all full circles.
Everybody knows the affiliation, and then as you both grow and get fans outside of the direct connection, you continue to share.
The one take contest. What was the inspiration for starting that? You pretty much get artists. You put up music. They can rap their own whatever over a track. You pick an artist that's a winner. Where did that come from?
It came from Funk Volume used to do it called "Don't Funk Up Our Beats," and that's actually how I met my current manager Dame, who used to manage Hobson and Dizzy and run Funk Volume. But yeah, it's how I met with them and Hobson and all of those guys was from doing that contest, and I just thought it was super dope. And then they weren't doing a contest anymore, and there was just a need for it, and I always did my stuff in the one take videos and stuff, and that's an even easier thing to do. Like, yo, you can shoot it on your phone, you can however you want to do it, it's just one take, there's no excuse not to. And a lot of artists have networked through that contest with each other, through me. I've brought a lot of them out on tour, let them open up in their cities.
That's fire.
And so it's like, it's just been a really dope thing for artists to gain a little bit of momentum, get a little buzz, and like their videos on there, or even like Dax, you know, the rapper Dax.
Yeah, yeah.
The first video he ever made was for the one take contest.
Wow,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, so it's like
And I think he's doing something right now. It was like a give back, right?
Yeah,
about a
all-
week ago
all the
or
time,
something.
yeah. He's always doing
like
stuff
submit,
like
get a bunch of people to tag in this post, and you get a free song, or
yeah,
I don't know.
He works super hard too.
Yeah.
Crazy hard.
Yeah, I don't know much of his music. I've definitely came across his name and his
couple times,
stuff
right?
quite a bit, but
Yeah. He's taking
I
off.
guess that's somebody I'll have to look into a little bit more.
Definitely.
What do you think are the pros of being an independent artist in 2019? You call the shots. What are the pros and what are the cons?
I mean, nowadays there's so many options to get your music out there and get your stuff heard. And you make way more of your money for sure. Like when you're on a label, bro, you see like 8 to 10% of your money. Like that's insane.
That's crazy.
And you don't even have the say so of when it comes out, how it comes out, what like you don't really have a say so, period, you know.
Yeah.
So being an independent artist is like I could make a song today and put that shit out tonight if I want to.
So you could do a song with me and we're good. We can drop that.
We're about to drop the Dylan Reese diss track. You know, do that. But yeah, there's a lot of pros to being independent, man. It's just I work. I don't know. I'm a kind of a spur of the moment guy sometimes. So just I can't see myself being happy on a label. And that's why I never signed.
Well, I think that's the world we live in now as a content creator, right? Not even just an artist, as a podcaster, as a videographer. Like you don't if you're patient enough and you don't just see the dollar sign and want to sign right away, like you can literally build it from the ground up and be in complete control. Like having that control right now to just put out as much music as you want, that has to be an amazing feeling, because there's probably tons of artists right now that maybe even listen to this, they can't release anything. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah,
to
and
not be able to
seen
put
that
out
happen to people too frequently, and I'm just like, if I was in that situation, I'd be like Ice Cube on the NWA movie, running in there and breaking shit and fucking people up, because I would be so mad. I would be so mad. Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you almost signed on something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you say what it was, or?
Yeah, I when I was talking with Republic, Universal Republic, I mean they have, I mean Drake, everybody, like all Cash Money, Young Money, you know, but it was crazy. There was so much going on. It was in 2015, 2016, and I had just did the thing that was crazy was the stuff with A Great Big World. They have a single that's 23 times platinum, probably more than that now, with Say Something with Christina Aguilera. And when I saw their situation and kind of how they were being treated, and then the money that was being wasted and all these things, that I'm like, none of this shit makes sense. And then they were asking me for advice on things and all this stuff, and I'm just like, bro, y'all have 24 million, like, it was crazy. So to see that, and then I had another homie who was writing songs for him. He was signed as an artist, but his songs were, he'd go into these writing sessions and his songs were given to other artists. I had multiple times I was flown to New York to meet with certain people with the label, and I was blown off.
Yeah.
And then their suggestions on how I was going to pop off and who they wanted me to work with didn't make no sense. It was just like a whole bunch of red flags all at once. And I was just like, nah.
This ain't my vibe.
Yeah. And then there's artists that you got to think too, like all the money that the label spends on you, you have to pay them back before and then after it's paid back, you're still only getting your small percentage. So you have to be selling a shit ton of music where, like, if I sold 100,000 copies of my project, or even say 10,000, say I sell 10,000 copies of mine and a label artist sells 200,000 copies of theirs, we're going to be making about the same amount of money.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's a huge difference of actual
you know what I'm saying? So you
sold.
see so many, and then even if your first project does great, if your second one does bad, you're still losing, and you're signed for 5 more years, and you can't do shit about anything, and they're not going to put no more money into you. So it's just like, I just saw a lot all in that year that made me be like, nah.
What do you think has been one of the biggest sacrifices you've had to make with chasing this dream of music? Because I had seen in a previous interview, you talked about there was a time that your grandmother had passed, and you were at a show, or you had to go to a show, and I don't think you knew what was going to happen, but you were away and something had happened. Yeah. What for you has been some of the bigger sacrifices? I mean, that one is crazy.
That one is wild. Stuff like that. Yeah, that's a tough one. I missed my brother's wedding. I missed both my brother's weddings, actually.
Damn.
Yeah. And for things that I felt like were really big opportunities, and then they didn't end up being what I expected them to be. Like I fought to get on this festival super hard, like for a long time. They hit me up last minute, like, yo, you got it. So after fighting for it, I couldn't be like, no, I don't want it. And so, I had to talk to my brother and be like, I asked him, what do you think? And he's like, I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that, you miss out on a lot of stuff at home, but I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's all worth it, but you definitely miss out on time, and things change. Like, when you do this, everything around you changes. So just, I don't know, but it's all worth it.
Yeah, especially I would imagine too, even just on like the short, maybe you're gone for 3 months on tour to do whatever, whether it was Warped Tour or any tour, and you come back and it's like so much has probably happened in that 3 months for you, and you come back home and maybe people haven't there's not much has changed.
Oh yeah, that's the craziest thing about touring and just life in general. Like, I do more in a month than most people do in their whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's wild to do that and then come back, and I mean, you just think different and you move different and you act different. Like, it's just you have this lust for life. Once you see the world and once you live your dream and do what you love, like, you have this lust to do more stuff that you love, see more of the world. And then you kind of come home to people that their biggest concern is, a dilemma at their job that they hate, that they've had for the last 5-6 years, but will do nothing to change it.
Yeah.
And then once you've gone through all this great shit, it's like, I don't even want to hear about that.
You don't have time for it.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get out of the situation, then I can't. I'll give people advice all the time, and they continue to do the same dumb shit. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah,
it's one thing if you ask for help and you're willing to give people
and
an
you
ear.
start making changes. I'm
awesome.
Hyped. I'm super hyped for you.
I'm gonna keep cheering you on. Like, let's go. But
when you give somebody advice and they just don't, it's. I think people are just scared. A lot of people are scared.
Why do you think they're scared?
Being accepted, fear of failure, comfortability.
Yeah,
people getting out of their comfort zones is how other people around them will feel, how they'll react to it. Just people are just scared in general.
Yeah, I think once you take that first leap, as I'm sure you've seen a lot in your career, then it becomes non-negotiable. You just understand, like, I know what has to happen. I know I just translate the same concept of taking a leap, or people are questioning, why am I doing this? And they don't understand it just yet, but then you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then your vision comes to life, and now everybody's like, oh shit, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
As an artist, like, I see you now are making music where you're using like like you're using like house-made items. You're really starting to, it's like unique. It's different.
Yeah.
What do you think has changed as the most about Futuristic as an artist in the last 5, 6, 7 years?
Man, I think it's been constant growth.
Yeah.
Constant growth. Yeah. I just want to make music. Like, it's like some of my old stuff, I don't even like to listen to it.
I bet you move on to the next. You want to get to the next, to the next.
Yeah. And even when I was making that music, I didn't even listen to that type of music really. Like towards I'd say like As Seen on the Internet. That's probably my least favorite project I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was the first world tour too, right?
Yeah.
That was the first world tour.
Best tour, dopest. Like that. But that project made me want to move from LA. And that project, I don't like the music, and I just don't like it. So like that was kind of when things started to switch for me, like the things I'm talking about. And I've always talked about some real shit, but there's just other songs I'm like, this is stupid. I don't like it. So with my new music, it's definitely more melodic. It's more of a vibe. I'm making it all from scratch with Boy Lord.
Yeah.
And it's fun to create it, and it's fun it's just fun to make the music. And we have all these live instruments and household items, and then there's messaging. There's messaging across the board on all my new stuff. And, just, I think that I've just seen a lot, and I've seen like the type of fan that I have and the type of people in the world. Like we talked about, these people that are scared, or these people that it's like everything is possible. You just have to go for it. So I just want to be able to convey the right messages and help people that are depressed, and help people that are, going through things, and help people that are scared to take that leap, and just always be able to give people confidence and help people get through what they're going through. So that's kind of been the switch up for me. And even in my new music, like I think the two of the first 3 songs are clean.
Yeah.
Without me even like trying to make them clean. It's just
what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I've just been not on that wave as much, so you won't hear me every other line talking about fucking bitches and all this other stuff that I used to talk about because I don't live that lifestyle, and it's not me, and it's not what I think you should be pursuing in your life. Like, that's not the most important thing, and that's not what's cool about life. So
now you talk about then you're moving to Arizona, you get away from the LA, it's this whole place you're creating music that's not truly you, right? But how do you just focus on futuristic music and not worrying about what all these other artists are creating or just getting caught up in their music? How do you just focus? How do you get that headspace to just go, this is what I want to create, this is what I want to do, this is what we're going to do? That's
one of the hardest things I think in this industry is comparing yourself to other people. And it'll drive you insane. It'll make you crazy. So I just try to, appreciate people's music for what it is, and then, when I make mine, I try to make it different, and I mean, I guess I don't really try. We just been making music and it's turned out different. But I think my biggest criticism, like people's biggest criticism towards me, is I'm all over the board. I do so much different shit, like with the singing, with the rapping, and like it's not like, even when I was talking with labels, they're like, you have to be more cohesive.
So they just want you as one.
If you listen to if you listen to most projects, like if you listen to a Bryson Tiller album, it's like the same song 14 times in a row. Like, no shade, but like a Wiz Khalifa project, it's the same. For 10 years, it's been the same song over and over. And with me, it's like you'll get a fast spaz rap track, then you'll get a full band orchestra production singing with like a poem at the end, and people are like, what the fuck? So I think that's been my biggest downfall industry wise, but I personally love artists that are like that. Like, even like Childish Gambino is one of my favorite artists. Like, bruh put out a funk album, came back with This Is America. He had his crazy spaz fast dope rap back in the day with like Bonfire and Freaks and Geeks and all that shit. Like, that's the type of album I want to listen to. So when my music comes out, I hope that people appreciate it for what it is. I hope that people take something from it, and I hope that they enjoy the versatility, because doing the same thing over and over again is like boring as hell.
You would think you bring more value to the table being able to be versatile.
But
do we need Futuristic on a rap? Do we want him to sing his ass off? Do we want him to just spit crazy bars? Like, you would think like that's the guy we want to work with.
But the industry's not like that. People want to hear you do the same shit over and over again, and it's very weird. But one thing is, there's no winning. There's always going to be people that, like, when I was just spazzing all the time, people were like, okay, dude, we fucking get it. And then when I switch up, they're like, go back to the fast rap. It's like, bruh, you just were
never happy.
The same dude that said stop rapping so much is the same dude that's like, hey, rap some more. So it's just like, you just got to block it all out. Do what you love, make what you love, and you're going to attract people that love the same things. And whether I have 500 people at a show or 2,000, if it's the right people and I have a great time, I could care less.
What type of music are you itching to make more of? Is there anything you really want to start pushing towards?
What we're making now. Just what we're making now. Like, everything we do is just live, like live instrumentation. Every single sound on, I don't want to say every single sound, but most of the sounds on all my new music is me doing some shit like this, some shit like this. My next single is called Hibachi. We went to a hibachi restaurant, recorded sounds at the restaurant, went home, turned it into a beat, and that, like, so just like, I have a bunch of ideas with the new shit. Like, with the way he produces, like, I want to just travel, collect sounds, come back to the Airbnb and make a song out of it. Like, all that stuff all the time, to where you're just experiencing life, you're having fun, and you're making music and giving a good message. Does
it feel like it's adding like a new flair inside you?
Bro. Because I was sick of doing, like, I was sick of the spaz rap shit. Like, I like to do that when I like to do it, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. So this, creating with him has just sparked a whole new thing. And we, like I said, bro, we brought in an orchestra to Sheeesh World. We brought in, there was
you
one
have
day,
the room for it. Dude,
we had like 20 musicians in one day, and we do 3-day lock-ins where we don't leave the studio, and we just bring in as many musicians as possible, and we just make shit from scratch. And we've created like 50 songs like that already.
Wow. It's good that you have the space for it, man. You got the whole compound, the Sheeesh compound, bro. I respect that.
And then even the videos we shot there on my green screen. I have a whole green room. And we shoot videos in there.
And you bring and when you're not utilizing the space, people can rent it out now too, right? Like, if an artist wants to come in, or you guys can give out the space and rent it to them. Man, Always find a way to monetize, brother. I respect it so much.
Yes, sir.
I want you to think back to like that Futuristic when he was kind of just starting off in his music career, because I know for a fact I had people DMing me that are young artists in the game that are going to listen to this podcast. Thinking back to that young Futuristic, just getting into the game, just starting off, what would you tell him? What's the advice you would tell him? You dropped a lot of gems. I know you have.
Yeah. I would say be yourself. I think that's the most important thing is being yourself, because we all do compare and we all do, like, I still do it every now and then where I look and I'm like, how is this dude this popping with this boo-boo ass music? You know, and as creators, I'm sure there's podcasts that you listen to and you're like, why does this
do the research? That's what I listen to podcasts. I'm like, yo, don't do the research. Come on.
And so, you know, it's the same thing for me. Is like in any other artist, you look at people and you compare yourself. So just be yourself. Don't follow the trend, because the trend is gonna die. Do your thing. Be original. Stay authentic to you. Work hard at that. Believe in it and push it. Like don't second guess yourself. Be who you are. As soon as you just be who you are and you work hard and you create something authentic to you, someone somewhere is going to buy into it. People are going to rock with it. There's a lane for everything. So you don't have to be Lil Pump. Lil Pump has his own lane. You don't have to be whoever. Just be yourself, and you're going to attract people, like-minded people that fuck with you.
Yeah, it takes time, but I always people there's a market. I've realized that there's literally a market for everything. You just have to stay consistent enough, and people are going to find you.
Everything. Yeah, that's another gem. Just being consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency nowadays that's key. That's everything.
Yeah. And that's what I think is tough about the comparison, because you're seeing people drop shit. As an artist, I feel like I'm dropping weekly and I feel like I'm not dropping enough. And then as an artist, sometimes you get people, either they're dropping as consistent as they can, or it's like they have to sit back for a couple months, try to calculate how we get to roll this out, what's the branding, and it's like
but everybody's different. That's the thing, is you can't follow nobody's path, because everybody's path is different. Like, I know artists that post once every 3-4 months and then they drop a song and it goes nuts.
Yeah.
And then I have other people that drop 2-3 things a week, like, and it kills, you know? So it's just like there's no rhyme or it's like, find what works for you and do what works for you. Because my path is not going to be the same as yours. What I do is not the same thing that you do. You know, so it's just,
you got to make it work with what you
just got to make it work with how you work. If you know you can't be consistent, then don't sit here and try to force yourself to put out 10 songs in 2 months and then put out 10 shitty songs. You know, if it takes you 2 months to make a song, take your time, make your song, get a plan, put it out. If you're somebody more so like me, who I can write a verse in 10 minutes, then you might want to put shit out once a week. Yeah. You know, so it's just, everybody's different.
Yeah. So growing up, you are somebody that likes to play basketball. I know we were playing hoops outside, and unfortunately you won. But talking about this partnership with the Phoenix Suns and how that came to life.
Yeah. Last season, I was the brand ambassador for the Suns. Did their theme song, did a bunch of commercials, got cool with a couple of the players. You know, had season tickets, and got paid for everything, you know, and yeah, it was dope.
As somebody who's a basketball fan growing up, to now see your face as the brand, as like a brand ambassador, like how amazing did that feel to see that?
It was dope, super dope. I mean, those are my two biggest loves, is music and basketball. So to be able to like put the two together, and then even they were selling the Sheeesh World in the store. We did like custom Suns pieces that they still rock with. So yeah, being the brand ambassador was dope, and just being able to go to the games, let my family go. Like, we had 4 tickets in the 3rd row, for the whole season. So it's just like,
what are you doing tonight? You want to go to the game? Let's go to the game. Pass them out.
Yeah, so it was cool, and there's some good people over there that I'm still very cool with, and we're still in contact. This year just didn't work for our schedules. Like, I was gone for the first 3 months of the season doing the Tech 9 tour, so like all the big press just I wouldn't have been able to do it. So it's kind of like, how you gonna be the brand ambassador and come through halfway through the season? So we might revisit it again. You know, hopefully we keep losing and then we get Zion, and and then I'll holler at y'all next year and I'll come back. And
that's
be the brand
actually
ambassador.
why he didn't come back, because he don't like he's waiting for y'all. He don't want to be the face until y'all making moves.
Yeah,
so.
y'all got to get some wins to get me back on the squad, fam. Because I'm not about these L's. Y'all about 11 and 236 right now. Y'all gotta get
Yo,
y'all gotta
at
get
the
it together.
Phoenix Suns, come at them, yo.
Nah, that's my guys.
It's all love. It's all love. I love that you do this hashtag Monday motivation every Monday. You're putting out just Instagrams or videos on your Twitter, just you talking about probably any subject that's kind of inspiring you at the moment. Where's that stemming from? Like, why? I know you're all about the music and the positivity, but why do this on a weekly basis?
It's really important to people.
Yeah,
it's really important to people, and you know, I see people come up, like somebody that I follow is Prince E, and he makes great motivational videos, and you know, I wasn't taking it to that extreme, and you know, he shoots crazy motivation videos. I just wanted to speak to people, you know, on a real level, like we're having a conversation, and let them know like just different issues that I know everybody deals with, because it's shit that I deal with even now.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like a lot of times when I'm telling people some shit, it's like I'm really telling myself too, you know, like
100%.
Yeah, it's
bro,
like
100%.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have the idea unless I've gone through it or been through it. I'm not gonna speak on anything I don't know. So it's something I'm either currently going through or somebody close to me is going through, or you know, like my last Motivation Monday, I just had a homie who committed suicide, which happens way too much, way too much, you know. So I was in that position where I was close to doing that in 2014. So I had to speak about it, you know, and then I had another homie overdose on drugs. It's like, these are all things that I'm going through in my life. And I know everybody goes through these things because people are, I mean, you see some of these big rappers that are passing away from things like this. So it affects all these things that affect everybody. It's like, let me talk about it. So maybe my conversation saves one person. Maybe my Motivation Monday saves one person or helps somebody turn their life around. And it has. I get more DMs about that almost than the music, you know, when it's things that are impactful and that mean something, and it's just something that needs to be said. Yeah,
I love the aspect of like what people aren't probably realizing is that you're just literally taking things that you need to say to yourself and putting it out there. Because I literally find myself doing that so often where I'm like, I do a lot of these Instagram pictures that I write on a note card and I post it onto the podcast Instagram, and it'll just be like, you know, keep punching the bag, and people are probably just like, yeah, whatever. In reality, I'm almost posting this stuff to tell myself the content I'm posting through like the podcast page literally is just a reinforcement of me yelling to myself,
you're holding
this is what you need
accountable.
To do. Exactly. Yeah. What do you find to be one, because from the outside looking in, people are going to think Futuristic, he's a business guy, he's got all this money, he's an artist, he's touring, he's making music, he's in LA. They think, you know, there can't be anything wrong with his life. What do you find as of today is something that you are struggling with?
Taxes. Fucking taxes, man. Y'all don't know about these taxes. When y'all get all hype when tax season comes, I want to punch all y'all. That's my money.
I think I had seen you tweeted about this a couple weeks ago.
Bro, I'd be so mad when it comes to taxes. This shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, I would imagine, because once you start to scale, when your business becomes a lot of money, you really start to get the leg pulled out underneath you, or the rug pulled out.
Taxes are terrible. I mean, that's a money problem. That's not a. It's cool, y'all. Y'all can have y'all have some. Yeah, take my money. Cash. Fuck it. Yeah. But nah. I think balancing relationships, like we talked about, is an issue that will always be there when you're busy. You know, giving your loved ones the time that they need and making sure everybody's good. And then just when you're a leader, so many people lean on you and so many people come to you for guidance, and so many people want money from you or want all these different things. Like,
how hard is that?
Bro, I've lent literally every single member of my family I've lent money to. All my closest friends I've lent money to before.
Do you start getting a lot of, like, what's that like when you start getting just random people that you probably haven't talked to in years, and they just are like, yo, bro, like, can you do this for me? Everybody's asking you for a favor.
Everybody has something that they want done. Everybody has, you know, so that's... It's a little weird. It's a little weird, and I just try to obviously not be a dick about anything. But I was too nice. One of my goals for this year actually was to kind of cut back on that and chill on that, and know, because one thing about when you just give people something is you're really just enabling them to be lazy and to not do shit, and you're crippling them. You're not even helping them. Yeah. You know, so I don't give anybody anything unless they have a plan or they deserve it, or like I rather take my squad on a trip like we rented a yacht and did San Diego and like jet skied and shit, like I'll pay for that all day for an experience and a memory that we'll all have forever. Before I'm like, yo, here's $1,000, like hope shit works out for you. Like, so I try to stay away from that now. But yeah, all those things happen with just being a leader, and it's like, who do you lean on when you're that leader? Who do you go to? Who can help you out? You know, because I think different than, you know, so that's why it's good having other like-minded, successful people that you can talk to that have been through, because the issues that I deal with aren't the issues that the average person would deal
100%.
with. You know, so those are just the issues. Being able to relate to people, especially now that I'm back in Arizona, that kind of smacked me when I moved back. I was like, damn, I wasn't around people, so I wasn't getting hit up as much. But now that people know I live in Arizona, it's like, bro, the amount of favors that I get asked for on the daily basis is crazy.
Yeah, and do they come knocking on your door knowing where you live now, that you got 2 cribs backed like side by side, or you keep that low key?
It's kind of low key. It's not super low key, but it's kind of low key. Like I definitely screen who comes and records at the crib and who rents it out and who I allow in the area. But yeah, no, it's cool though.
Do you have a good like a go-to mentor? I know you mentioned like having somebody to lean on. Is there anybody that if you have a question about business, you usually use a go-to, or you just look around?
Nah, I kind of I be talking to myself. Nah, I really don't have a mentor. I have a couple people that I bounce ideas off of and, you know, run things by. But for the most part, I feel like when I just follow my gut, that's when things.
Smart.
Yeah.
Just listen to your gut and go for it.
Listen to my gut, and I'll maybe read up on some shit or watch somebody on Instagram or somebody that's, you know, doing some similar things and be like, okay, they did this and this. That's cool. I don't like that. I can improve on it.
Study the market and see how you can make it your own.
Yeah.
What scares you the most?
About what?
Life.
Love. Yeah, probably love. Probably love and happiness are probably the two things that are the scariest for me. Yeah. So definitely those.
And in the love aspect, do you find it hard to even have some type of relationship with someone?
Nah, I've always been, not always, but like I've always had good relationships, to be honest with you. Like any girl that I've talked to for an extended period of time, like I think actually mine is letting go. Like any girl that I've like talked to and shit, like I still am cool with and still, you know, rock with.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you have somebody that you're with, you know, you got to cut all that stuff off and just, I don't know, just I've had a lot of dope relationships. So once again, comparing, like you try not to compare the new girl to the other girl you were with or whatever, and then just ending up with the right person and, you know, having a relationship that lasts forever. Like everybody wants to be married, everybody wants to have kids, everybody wants to have a family. Like that's a huge goal of mine. But coming from a broken home, I want it to happen one time, and I want it to be the right person in the right way and the right relationship, you know. So that scares me a little bit, like just the thought of marrying somebody and then ending up unhappy. Yeah, those are because I just, like I said,
it would wreck me. I think about myself, like if I got married and the wife divorced me or cheated on me, I would be broke. Like I always tell people, it's like if I ever get on my knee, it's one time. Like I'm damn well better be the way, because I do not want to go through all of that legwork. People getting remarried 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I'm like, how would you have the headspace for this? How is this even possible?
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in that position, but I just feel like, if I got married and divorced, I'm not getting married again.
No.
Period.
What scares you about the happiness though? You said love and happiness.
I just think that actually a Mike Stud quote. Sometimes you know, don't lose your happiness on the pursuit for more is something that like I'm like, that's real. Yeah. Because when you want to be successful and you want to do all these things, sometimes you lose sight of what you currently have because of what you're chasing. Yeah. You know, so I always just try to keep that into perspective. But I think the love and the happiness thing go hand in hand too. You know, like it takes. I mean, you can be happy without being in love, but, you know, you have to have love for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
self-love.
Yeah, you have to have self-love. You have to have love for everything, and just those are probably my 2 biggest fears: is remaining happy and being with the right person.
What do you think your definition of success is?
Honestly, I feel like happiness is success. As long as you're happy, you're successful. I tell people that all the time. Like, just because somebody else is making more money than me, that doesn't mean they're happier than me. So how does that mean they're more successful than me? Your life is shitty. Yeah. You know, like I know plenty of people that are rich that are shitty.
Yeah.
You know, and then I know people that are broke that are happy as fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like, who's to say that this millionaire is more successful than this guy who makes $60,000 but makes a difference in his community, coaches his kid's basketball team, loves his wife, fucking eats at his favorite restaurant every Thursday and is happy.
Yeah.
He's more successful than this person to me.
Yeah.
So I think that's what success is. If you live a happy life and you do dope shit and you enjoy what you do, cool.
I think that's the one thing that I really see a lot living out in LA. Driving around for Uber, I'm in all neighborhoods. I'm in Bel Air, and then I'm out in the middle of South Central.
Yeah.
But I'll pick up a woman in South Central who works at a local taco joint, and she's just like, yep, had a great day at work. I'll pick up somebody in Bel Air at a $1 million mansion. They're complaining to me as I drop them off at some place on Rodeo. It's like, man, you
in the back seat cursing somebody out on the phone.
You have it all.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, I see you. I'm like, you have it all. But I get so thrown off of like, man, what's the problem? Like, what's stemming you to feel that way when you have so much in front of you, but yet they don't see it. They don't. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess sometimes it's the physical items. I think we tend to believe is what's going to bring the true happiness.
Yeah, and it's definitely not. That's one thing I'll tell anybody who's watching the podcast. Yeah, money really does not equal happiness at all. And actually, I always tell people to kind of read up on the Harvard study of happiness. That breaks it down really, really well. On, you know, it's the longest study in the history of studies. Really, like on people.
Yeah.
And they took like 100 graduates, maybe it was 1,000. A lot of graduates from Harvard, and they literally like would interview them every year and interview their families. And so it was like some of them went on to be super rich, some of them, you know, not as much. And actually the ones that were the happiest and they lived the longest were the people that made a decent amount of money in a job that they loved, and they made time for the people that they love. Anybody who didn't have those good relationships and make that time because they were so wrapped up in their business, they died younger. They were not only were they unhappy, but like this is 100-year or however many year study.
Yeah.
Their grandkids were worse. They were off. They were fucked up.
Yeah.
In comparison to these people that didn't make as much money but had these great relationships, it's trickled down all the way to their grandkids, and it'll continue to trickle down, all based off of
him,
at the top.
The person at the top.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think what happens is that that father who graduates from Harvard doesn't show love to the son. That goes on. The son gets older. He doesn't have the love, and then it just, like you're saying, it trickles down, and it becomes a domino effect for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What you were just saying has been something that I've been trying to scream to myself for the last 6 weeks, because there was a moment I had recently where I just like I hit a wall of like I've been just punting so much of like personal things and family relationships that it like killed me to the point I literally broke down just by myself, because I'm just like, what's the point of all this? Like, if this shit blows up, like, and it takes me a couple years and I just missed out on relationship with my parents or my sister, or even just like not staying in contact with friends, it's like, it's still something I struggle with, because I'm always, and I can hear it in you, it's like, I just want to do the best for me and just keep working. There's so much to be done, and there's only so much amount of time in the day, but it's finding that balance of like, let's take an hour to chill and like catch up with this person or call this person and check on them. Like, the phone works both ways, Bobby. Like, don't just expect people to always come looking out to you. Like, take that footstep and go and ask people how they're doing.
Yeah, maybe even write it down. Something that I have to make lists with how much stuff I have going on. I have to make a list every day, a to-do list of what I need to do. I make one for each of my businesses. Like, okay, I need to do this week for Sheesh, I need to do this. For the store, I need to do this. For music, I need to do this. For, you know, and then even personal, the daily thing, okay, call my pops, call my mom, you know, whatever the case may be. So, yeah. It's
making a list.
You got to make a list. It's like you said, holding yourself accountable. You make posts and put them on Instagram.
Yeah.
You got to make that list for yourself. Like, before you go to bed every night, make a list for what you're going to do the next day.
Yeah.
And think about, okay, like, what do I
How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
I love that. Before I get into the closing questions, this is when I reverse the role. I allow the guests to ask me any one question. It could be about something we talked about today, something you want to know about me. There's only 2 rules. 1, it can't be a question I directly asked you today. And 2, it can't be directly about the podcast.
Okay.
Any one question.
My question would be, what is your end goal? Not end goal. What is your 5 years from now? What are you doing? Where are you at?
Taking everything that I'm doing to another level, continuing to make content, whether it's podcasting. I'd love to one day get into like some type of Netflix, YouTube docu-series where maybe do like a talk show in front of a live audience and then like incorporate B-roll of like outside of it. Or it's such a big question mark because I always had a vision for what I wanted to create with this podcast. That's why, once again, man, it's just like the feeling I have coming into this interview is still thinking about who I was when I'm 8 episodes in. As I'm sure you can remember when you were just starting off with music, like nobody really understands the vision you have. Nobody understands the passion. And I'm so fucking grateful for the amount of people that I've been able to get in here, like the guests, the people with the credibility, people like yourself who are literally killing it within their own lanes. Like I imagined, but I never imagined getting to this point. So now it's just about continuing to double down on this and let this be the engine to where I'm going. I always tell people, it's like, I'm not emotionally attached to this, right? Like, I'm emotionally attached in the sense of I'm putting all of my time and energy into this. But if there was an opportunity that happens in 2 years from now and it makes sense and I have to pivot, it's like that's what the whole world, that's what life's all about. Like, don't get so emotionally attached that you start to feel like you failed and think that, oh, the Purpose in Youth podcast failed, we had to move on. It's like, I've already succeeded with the people that I've connected with. So wherever this takes me next, I hope it just keeps growing. I hope I keep making content at scale. I love the bed Rudio, but I would love to get to like some official shit, like a real studio with a full camera production, do like a docuseries like I was talking about, like going out to creative spaces, just like keep making content of what I wanted when I was graduating, which was, where's the content focused on the youth that are making shit happen, that are in the grind right now, maybe have had a couple wins, couple successes. Keep making content for that kid, because when I was graduating, 6 figures in debt from a college, not wanting to do the corporate job, that's what I was looking for. And I've just tried to create it. I've done my best. I've gotten amazing feedback, amazing guests. It's all positive energy. Yesterday I ran into Gary Vee on Sunset. I took a screenshot with him. Yeah, I seen that. I posted it. This shit went viral, bro. Like, I got over, last time I checked, I had over 3,000 comments tagged of him. Mind you, I had, at the time when I posted, less than 3,000 followers. Yeah. I got over 3,000 people tagging Gary Vee in the post. I got over 150 new followers. The key, which was like so amazing to me, was people that I've had on the podcast before. Never expect anything from them. Yeah. Like, it's usually they come in, we have a great conversation, they leave, the podcast rolls out, relationship established, that's it. We're just going to hopefully connect again. Right. The people that were resharing it, I was blown away. Like, co-founder of Movement, Rory Kramer, a homie of mine, Jeremiah Davis, that one blanket. Like, people that mean so much to me and have meant so much to getting on this podcast, like trying to help get the word out and push it and get people to tag it. I was blown away, man. Yeah, and beautiful. It was just
made you feel good,
bro. It was, and I literally talked to Dylan this morning. He's like, well, hopefully Gary hits you up. And I said, you know what, man? I would love for him to hit me up, but it doesn't matter, because if it doesn't happen now, I know I'm gonna get Gary down in the future. It's non-questionable, non-negotiable. But it was just the amount of love I all of a sudden got from people that just generally fucked with me. You know, like they didn't have to reshare that. They didn't have to go out of their way and tell their friends and to do it. But it was a moment of like, you're doing something. You're 2.5 years in on this project. Keep going. You don't know what's around the corner. And that's one thing I always tell people. Today could be the day. All it takes, one podcast, one song, one T-shirt, one video with Nerd Raps. All it takes is one. And that's what I try to convince myself every single day.
Too is, everybody's gonna go back and look at all the other stuff you did once they hear or see that one thing, and then you just have in your mind, like, the fact that you said, I'm down to pivot and move. Like, some people get stuck on one thing and miss out on so much others because they're blind to this one thing, and you can't do that. You can't have tunnel vision, because there's so much stuff going around, and anything could be a dope opportunity, you know? So.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to you of just being I'm just going to go down one lane of music. Yeah. I'm just going to try all these different things, and that's what's getting you to the artist that you're becoming today.
Yeah, exactly. Change is the only constant.
Yeah. Closing questions. One, where can people find you on social media?
At Only Futuristic, everything Only Futuristic.
Mm-hmm. And then Sheesh World, right? At
Sheesh World.
At Sheesh World.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Sheesh with 3 E's.
Bro, I find myself even just saying that, and I'm like, Does he think I'm like, because we were out there shooting hoops and I said, and then you said, I'm like, I hope he doesn't think I'm like trying to grind him for it.
Nah,
it's just like a natural thing.
It just
you
happens.
just say, it's like, sheesh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I
It's
love
everywhere now too. When I started saying it, I've been saying it since I was a kid.
Wow.
So it's just like.
And then you started using it as an ad lib, then it became the whole brand, and now it's like literally, you got on the hat too. Sheesh World. Sheesh. Before I ask the last question, short and simple, thank you again for coming in today.
For sure.
Really appreciate it.
Good combo.
You're crushing it. You're a great example of what this podcast is all about. I can't say how much I truly respect you as like an artist, but as a businessman. I think it's extremely important to take not advantage, but like once again going back to like not getting set on one path and being smart and trying to monetize while helping other people, whether it's through the book, whether it's through your clothes and giving people like that positivity through the energy, whether it's putting out like the hashtag Monday motivations. Like I have a lot of respect for everything that you're doing, and it means a lot for taking the time to do this. So thank you.
For sure. No, I appreciate you.
Last question for you. For somebody that's listening, hasn't found that passion, hasn't found that purpose out just yet, what's the best 2 to 3 pieces of advice you'd give to them?
It's gonna find you. As long as you just do things that you love and surround yourself with people that are doing positive things, something is gonna hit you. Something's gonna stick. Just do new things too. Mm-hmm. You're never gonna grow if you stay in the exact same place. So I tell people all the time, even like when people ask me about writer's block, like how can I haven't been able to write any songs, I'm not inspired. Go do something different. You know, go hike something you've never hiked. You can go to a bar that you've never been to and meet a random ass person that like that happens all the time. Like you just go outside of your comfort zone. Even if you don't have to have money to do it, you don't have to have shit. Even in your own town, I guarantee there's cool places that you haven't been to yet. Go there, gain inspiration, talk to new people, do new things, and something will find you.
I love it. Futuristic.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Sheesh.
We'll catch you guys next time. See ya.